Hello and welcome to this episode of the Recruitment Podcast, where we celebrate academic recruitment and bring education to everyone. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something that you, as someone in higher ed, HR, or recruitment, are probably grappling with right now. How to make your institution stand out in the talent marketplace.
It's a crowded space, and traditional recruitment methods often aren't cutting it anymore. That's where recruitment marketing comes in.
Right, it's not just posting a job ad and hoping for the best anymore. You've shared some fascinating research on how universities and colleges are using marketing strategies to reach top talent.
Exactly. This article, How Recruitment Marketing Empowers Higher Education Teams, lays out 5 key ways institutions are leveling up their recruitment game.
Okay, so before we dive into those 5 ways, let's set the stage for our listeners. What exactly does recruitment marketing mean in the higher ed world?
Think of it as bridging the gap between your marketing team, who are experts at building your institution's brand, and your recruitment team, who are focused on finding the best people. It's about applying those marketing skills to attract, engage, and ultimately convert potential applicants into enthusiastic members of your academic community.
So we're talking about going beyond just posting job descriptions on a basic website. We're talking about using things like targeted social media campaigns, creating compelling content that showcases your institution's unique culture, and even leveraging technology to streamline the application process.
You got it. It's about being proactive and strategic, meeting potential candidates where they are, and using every touch point to tell a compelling story about why your institution is a great place to work.
I love that. Telling a compelling story. It's not just about filling a vacant role. It's about showcasing what makes your institution stand out.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the first of those 5 key ways recruitment marketing can empower higher ed. Creating a lasting first impression. Think about it. Your careers site, your job ads, even your social media presence. These are often the first interactions a potential candidate has with your institution.
It's like that saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Exactly. And in a competitive talent market, that first impression needs to be memorable. It needs to showcase not just the job itself, but also the values, the culture, and the experience of working at your institution.
This makes me think about some of the institutions I see doing this well. They're sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses of campus life, highlighting employee stories, and really emphasizing what makes them unique.
That's a great example. What's fascinating here is the power of authenticity. Candidates can tell when an institution is genuinely passionate about its people and its mission, and that kind of authenticity shines through in every aspect of your recruitment marketing, from the visuals you use to the language you choose.
And I imagine this is where a strong employer brand comes in.
Absolutely. You want your employer brand to be woven into every touch point a candidate has with your institution. And that goes beyond just having a fancy logo or tagline. It's about living your values, showcasing your culture, and making sure your brand promise is reflected in the actual employee experience.
It's about walking the walk,
Yeah,
not just talking the talk.
precisely. And a key part of building that authentic employer brand is employee-generated content. Imagine a potential candidate seeing a post from a current faculty member talking about their exciting research project, or a staff member sharing a story about how their institution supported their professional development.
It's like getting a sneak peek behind the curtain straight from the people who live and breathe the institution's culture.
Exactly. And that kind of authenticity is incredibly powerful in building trust and credibility with potential candidates.
So we've talked about making a great first impression and the importance of a strong employer brand. But how do we actually get those potential candidates in the door?
That's where the second key way comes in. Building talent pipelines and nurturing relationships. You're not just trying to fill today's open positions, you're cultivating a pool of talented individuals who might be a great fit for your institution down the line.
So it's like building a network, but specifically for talent.
Exactly. Think of it like planting seeds that you'll nurture over time. Recruitment marketing helps you reach people who might not be actively seeking a job right now, but who could be the perfect fit for a future opportunity.
This makes me think about how some institutions are creating talent communities or using their career sites to encourage people to sign up for newsletters or job alerts.
Those are great examples. You want to give people multiple ways to connect with your institution, even if they're not ready to apply for a specific position just yet.
So instead of just waiting for candidates to come to you, you're actively seeking them out and building relationships.
Precisely. And once you have that connection, it's crucial to nurture it. You can do that through consistent and meaningful communication, whether it's sharing updates about your institution, highlighting employee achievements, or sending targeted emails about opportunities that align with their interests.
It's about staying top of mind and showing those potential candidates why they should consider your institution when they are ready for their next career move.
Exactly. And that kind of long-term relationship building is essential in today's competitive talent market.
So we've covered creating a strong first impression and building talent pipelines. But let's face it, in higher ed, HR, and recruitment, we're often juggling multiple priorities and facing tight deadlines. How can recruitment marketing help us work smarter, not harder?
That's where the third keyway comes in, improving efficiency and reducing your time to hire. The article highlights how strategic recruitment marketing campaigns combined with software and automation can streamline your entire process.
This is music to my ears. Imagine spending less time on those tedious administrative tasks and more time actually connecting with potential candidates.
Exactly. Instead of manually sorting through hundreds of applications, you can use software to filter candidates based on specific criteria, automate communication, and track the progress of each applicant.
It's like having an extra set of hands or maybe even a whole extra team member without actually having to hire one.
Precisely. And the article even gives a great example of this in action. Texas Christian University, or TCU, implemented brand guidelines and job templates to streamline their recruitment marketing approach. This allowed them to create consistent on-brand materials quickly and efficiently.
So they're saving time and ensuring that all their recruitment efforts are aligned with their overall brand identity. That's a win-win.
Absolutely. And it highlights the importance of having a well-defined recruitment marketing strategy, just like you would for any other aspect of your institution's marketing efforts. You know, in higher ed, we're often swimming in data, but are we really using it to our advantage when it comes to recruitment?
That's a great point. We track enrollment numbers, graduation rates, alumni giving. But what about using data to attract the talent that will drive all those other successes?
Exactly. And that's the fourth key takeaway from the article. Using data and analytics to make smarter recruitment decisions. It's not just about gut feelings anymore. It's about measuring what works and what doesn't.
So instead of just blasting out a generic message and hoping it lands somewhere, we can actually see which channels are bringing in the most qualified candidates, what kind of content they're engaging with, and even how our application process is performing.
Precisely. And that level of insight is a game changer. Think about being able to track which online spaces are magnets for the kind of talent you need. It's about finding your ideal candidates, not just waiting for them to find you.
And I imagine this data can also help us refine our employer brand and messaging, ensuring we're resonating with the right people.
Absolutely. The article highlights how Columbia University uses analytics to constantly optimize their content and understand the effectiveness of their sourcing channels. They're not just setting it and forgetting it, they're using data to make the recruitment marketing smarter and more agile.
Okay, so data helps us work smarter and target our efforts more effectively. But in higher ed, we're not just competing for talent with other universities, we're also competing with industry, with the private sector.
That's a critical point, and it brings us to the fifth key way: recruitment marketing empowers higher ed, showcasing a strong employee value proposition, or EVP. How do you articulate what makes working at your institution not just a job, but a fulfilling career?
It's about painting a picture that appeals to both the heart and the mind. Yes, we offer competitive salaries and benefits, but what else makes your institution a unique and rewarding place to work?
Exactly. And remember, the EVP has to resonate with both seasoned academics who value tradition and those fresh perspectives who are looking for innovation. It's a balancing act.
So beyond just listing job duties and qualifications, we need to highlight things like professional development opportunities. Research support a commitment to work-life balance and a culture of diversity and inclusion.
All of those are key components of a strong EVP, especially for today's talent. The article gives the example of the University of Delaware, which used recruitment marketing to amplify their EVP messaging. The result: a significant increase in referrals and candidate engagement.
That's impressive. It shows that when you articulate your EVP clearly and authentically, it resonates with the right people.
Precisely. And it's not just about attracting talent, it's about retaining it. When your employees feel valued and connected to your institution's mission, they're more likely to stay and contribute for the long term.
Okay, so we've unpacked these 5 key ways recruitment marketing can empower higher education institutions. We've talked about creating a lasting first impression, building talent pipelines, improving efficiency leveraging data, and showcasing a strong EVP. But how do all these pieces fit together?
What's fascinating here is how these 5 elements work together to create a comprehensive and effective recruitment marketing strategy. It's not about picking and choosing, it's about integrating them into a cohesive whole.
It's like a recipe where each ingredient is important, but it's the combination that truly makes the dish sing.
Exactly. And it's a recipe that needs to be constantly refined and adjusted. Based on your institution's specific goals, challenges, and target audience, there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
That makes sense. So for our listeners who are working in higher ed, HR, and recruitment, where do they even begin? What's the first step in creating a successful recruitment marketing strategy?
The first step is to take a step back and really understand your institution's unique value proposition. What makes you different? What makes you special? What do you offer that no one else can?
It's about digging deep and identifying those core elements that will resonate with potential candidates.
Precisely. And once you have a clear understanding of your value proposition, you can start to build your recruitment marketing strategy around it.
Okay, so we've identified our unique value. What comes next?
Next, you need to think about your target audience. Who are you trying to reach? What are their needs and aspirations? What motivates them?
Because a message that resonates with a seasoned professor might fall flat with a recent graduate looking for their first staff position.
Exactly. And once you understand your target audience, you can start to develop messaging and content that speaks directly to them.
So it's about tailoring our recruitment marketing efforts to the specific needs and interests of each group we're trying to reach.
Precisely. It's about personalization and relevance.
Okay, so we've identified our value proposition and defined our target audience.
Yeah.
What's the next step in building our recruitment marketing strategy?
The next step is to choose the right channels and tactics to reach your target audience. Where do they spend their time online? What kind of content do they consume? What events do they attend?
It's about meeting them where they are.
Exactly. And there are a variety of channels and tactics you can use, including social media, email marketing, content marketing, search engine optimization, paid advertising, and events.
It can feel a little overwhelming with so many options. How do we know which ones are right for us?
The key is to experiment and track your results. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. What works for one institution might not work for another.
So it's about trying different things, seeing what works,
Yeah,
and constantly refining our strategy.
exactly. And that brings us to the importance of data and analytics. You need to track your results so you can see what's working and what's not.
Data helps us make informed decisions and ensure that our recruitment marketing efforts are actually delivering results.
Precisely, and it's an ongoing process. The landscape of recruitment marketing is constantly evolving, so you need to be adaptable and willing to adjust your strategy as needed. It sounds like recruitment marketing is a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely. It's about constantly learning, adapting, and staying ahead of the curve. And it's important to remember that recruitment marketing is a team sport.
Yeah.
It's not just the responsibility of the HR or marketing departments. It involves everyone from hiring managers to faculty to current employees.
That's right. Everyone in the institution has a role to play in building a strong employer brand and attracting top talent. Think about those employee testimonials we discussed earlier. They can be incredibly powerful, especially when they come from a diverse range of voices across your institution.
It's about showcasing the real people behind the brand and letting their passion and expertise shine through.
Exactly. And that kind of authenticity is contagious. When potential candidates see that your employees are genuinely happy and engaged, it makes them want to be a part of that community.
It creates a sense of excitement and momentum that can really set your institution apart in a crowded market.
Precisely. And that's what it's all about, finding the right people who will not only fill a role, but who will thrive in your institution's unique environment and contribute to its long-term success.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a few key takeaways. First, remember that recruitment marketing is not just a trend. It's a fundamental shift in how we approach talent acquisition in higher education.
It's about being proactive, strategic, and data-driven. And it's about recognizing that in today's competitive market, we need to do more than just post a job description and hope for the best.
We need to tell a compelling story, showcase our unique value proposition, and create a candidate experience that makes people feel valued and excited about the opportunity to join our institution.
And don't forget the power of collaboration. Recruitment marketing is a team effort that involves everyone in the institution.
Absolutely. So as you embark on your recruitment marketing journey, remember to be bold, be creative and be authentic. And don't be afraid to experiment and try new things. And for those of you looking to explore higher education job opportunities in your field, be sure to check out academicjobs.com. It's a great resource for finding the latest openings and connecting with institutions that align with your skills and interests.
There you have it. The future of higher ed recruitment is here, and it's powered by Recruitment Marketing.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into recruitment marketing in higher education. We hope you found it informative and inspiring.